Hey folks, how you guys doing today? Jimmy Roberts here, your local real estate professional, and here is a very, very common scenario. So here you go. So you just finished finishing your basement. You just put in $25, $35, $50,000 into turning this formerly unused place for storage only into a Mac Daddy basement where everybody wants to spend their time. It's now living space. It's absolutely perfect. You think you have the best basement in the entire world, and you probably do. But here's the thing. Now that you've got that basement finished, you bring in an appraiser because now you want to capitalize on some of that value that you just created, and the appraiser gives no value whatsoever to your basement, or gives very little value to your basement. Wow, that really hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It does. So today what we're going to talk about is appraisal adjustments and why some of those situations that we just talked about don't really affect value. So let's jump right into it. And let me first start off by saying this. The appraisal business is very interesting in that in a lot of ways, I think I heard a friend of mine describe it this way. It's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses. Right? So I know we've all heard that phrase, but basically what it means is whatever your neighbors are doing, just to keep up, you got to do the same thing. This is a scenario that just actually happened to me in my own personal neighborhood. We had a hailstorm about a year and a half ago, and I live in a neighborhood that's relatively new, where our homes are probably within 20 years old for the most part. And during the hailstorm, many people had new roofs added because we all had some type of damage. Well, here's the thing. Your home, you have a 20-year-old home, and now you're in competition with homes with new roofs, right? Generally speaking, roofs last about 20 to 25, maybe even 30 years before you need to do something to them. So if you're trying to sell your home anytime now, and you're competing against somebody with a new roof, and your home is essentially the same, which one is going to get the most shine? Exactly, the one with the new roof. So you as a homeowner need to do what? To compete, you need to get a new roof. So that is keeping up with the Joneses, right? So here's the thing. In relation to our original example, the problem is this. Oftentimes we associate this thing called cost with value, right? So for instance, if I spent $50,000 on finishing my basement, that means that in my head, I'm thinking that I've added $50,000 worth of value. That may or may not be true. And it really comes out in terms of the appraisal analysis. So for instance, if you spent $50,000 finishing your basement, and that's wonderful, but your neighbor also has a finished basement. We don't know how much they spent on theirs, but they also have a finished basement with very similar overall functionality. Me, as an appraiser, how am I supposed to figure out who has more value than the other one? That's the question. Well, the answer is I can't, right? All I can say is home A has a finished basement and home B has a finished basement. All things being equal, they kind of cancel each other out, right? Now, that's the long and the short of it. I can't, as an appraiser, and it's not just me as an appraiser, but any real estate professional, you can't value that because we don't know. Our data sets haven't developed to the point where we can figure out, because you have vinyl tile floor or vinyl laminate flooring and somebody else has carpeting, I can't tell that there's a difference in the market for that. The only time I'm supposed to make adjustments on real estate appraisals from an appraisal standpoint is if there is a defined difference in utility, or a difference in utility between one property and another. If I can't quantify it, I can't adjust for it. Let me repeat that. If I can't quantify it, I can't adjust for it. Now, in my case, one of the things that I use is I use a lot of statistical analysis. So I compile a lot of data from sales in the area. So if I'm looking at, say, 100 different sales, and there is no difference between the aggregate sales prices of homes with finished basements and those without finished basements, then what's the answer? Your finished basement, it is nice. It has probably raised you up in terms of the range of possible market values, but there is no definitive way to say that the value associated with your finished basement is anything that I can't figure that out. I just don't know. And since I don't know and I can't quantify it, I can't make an adjustment for it. Because again, my practice and the thing that I'm judged on is if I make an adjustment, I have to be able to support it. Well, I just told you I can't support it, so therefore I can't make the adjustment. You understand what I'm saying? So oftentimes, whenever you see an appraisal and you have various features in that appraisal and the appraiser did not make the adjustment, oftentimes that's the reason why. So I hope this was useful to you, and I hope that it will help you understand a little bit more of the appraisal process. It's more than just saying that I spent X number of dollars on something and therefore I'm supposed to get X number of dollars back. That's what HGTV tells us, but that is not the reality of the situation. Every situation is absolutely unique and it is location dependent. Because notice what I said, I don't know if you caught that earlier. When we do an analysis, we do an analysis over the area that we're appraising the house in. Every time, we don't skip that process. So therefore, a house with a finished basement may not warrant an adjustment in this particular neighborhood, but it just might in another. So I hope that's useful. And if you have any questions about that, which you just might, please, by all means, put them in the comments or reach out to us directly. Our contact information is below. This is Jimmy Roberts, your local real estate professional, and I look forward to talking to you later. See you.